Although Macron's political career has seen many failures, the only international incident that turned into a classic farce was the nuclear submarine deal back then. At that time, France was in a meeting with the United States and Britain. During the meeting, the latter two countries poached the nuclear submarine deal that France had with Australia. What's ironic is that the US and Britain claimed to maintain a close relationship with France to its face, but in reality, they didn't care about France's interests at all, let alone Macron's dignity. It has been 4 years since the launch of this project called AUKUS, and its progress has not been smooth. Moreover, with Trump becoming the US president, the project has become even more precarious. According to the plan of the US, Britain, and Australia, the US will first export Virginia-class nuclear submarines to Australia, and then jointly produce AUKUS-class attack nuclear submarines with Britain and Australia. In other words, through this project, the US will make its active Virginia-class nuclear submarines part of the Australian Navy's equipment, while Britain will use the project to get Australia to share the R&D costs of its under-development AUKUS-class attack nuclear submarines. Some people may wonder why go through all this trouble. Couldn't Australia just buy the export version of the Virginia-class submarines directly? In fact, that's not possible, because the nuclear materials used in nuclear submarines are among the categories internationally prohibited from proliferation. Australia is a non-nuclear country, so it is legally restricted in this regard. That's why when the news broke, not only did France angrily accuse the three countries of betraying the alliance, but many other countries also spoke out against it. For if the AUKUS project succeeds, other countries could follow suit, allowing non-nuclear states to obtain nuclear equipment through weapons exports and subsequent imitation. However, the alliance that was betrayed includes the United States, which controls the global discourse power. Even if others oppose it, it won't help. Under the agreement, the propulsion system and combat system technology of the AUKUS-class nuclear submarines to be equipped by Australia are from the United States, the nuclear reactors are from the United Kingdom, and the steel is provided by Australia itself. Calculated this way, it is much more cost-effective than directly purchasing the purely British version AUKUS-class submarines. However, with Trump coming to power, as we all know, he is now waging a tariff war, especially on imported steel and aluminum, imposing tariffs of over 25% at one go, and the AUKUS project is no exception. The Trump administration reviewed the project and deemed it failing to meet the requirements of America First. Since the manufacturing of nuclear submarines involves U.S. participation, why isn't American-made steel and aluminum used? If Australia, which provides the steel, has to pay tariffs of over 25% to the United States, it would actually be better to use American products directly. Even if the steel incurs losses. The United States is also unable to provide Virginia-class nuclear submarines to Australia on time as required by the agreement. This is because the U.S. currently has 17 Virginia-class submarines on order for its own use, leaving no excess production capacity for Australia. In addition to the betrayal by the United States, there is also a wave of opposition within Australia. The AUKUS project is valued at $245 billion, most of which is borne by Australia. This figure is equivalent to Australia's total public healthcare expenditure for 2 years, triggering domestic opposition. The ruling party has been criticized for prioritizing nuclear proliferation over people's livelihoods, a charge that the ruling party cannot afford to bear. Some friends have keenly noticed that we haven't talked about Britain yet. In fact, there's not much to say about Britain. A naval power that can't even get its own aircraft carriers right, what can one expect of it? Due to funding shortages and construction delays, Britain has been forced to indefinitely extend the development of the AUKUS-class nuclear submarines, which is no longer a new excuse.